Welcome to Arizona and our butts, guts, core, and more yoga class. We begin by putting our fingers together under our chin and inhale through our mouth. Inhale up and then head back, exhale. And repeat. Inhale up and exhale. This is the only time we breathe in through our mouth. Normally, long, deep breaths in and out of the nose. This strengthens the shoulders and arms up overhead. A new breathing method. Arms up, inhale, exhale, bend over slightly, and arms up. And climb that invisible ladder. Get a good stretch on both sides. Palms together and ears touching your biceps. Left and right, back and forth. And arms apart, pull back on that elbow, palm in the middle of your shoulder, and open up. Same thing on the other side, pull back, get a nice stretch in your tricep area. And let's rotate our arms, increasing the range of motion in our shoulders. Both directions. Arms out front and crisscross. This helps to strengthen the tricep and removes that hanging underneath our arms. And let's shake our arms out to the side, feet shoulder width apart. Don't move our feet, just move our bodies. Left and right, left and right, left and right. And bring the one arm across and the forearm on the inside of the elbow. And open up, and now the other side. Get a good stretch in your shoulder. And now hands on our hips. We pick up our right leg, open the thigh to the side, spin the ankle in both directions. And the left leg, same thing. Open the thigh to the side. Spin the ankle in both directions. And back to Tadasana or tree pose. And now pick up the right leg and plant that foot above the knee. Let the thigh hang open. And put your hands wherever is best for you to balance. In front, onto the side. And the same now with the other leg. Let the thigh hang open. Hands together wherever is best for you to balance. And back to tree pose. Arms up, climbing that invisible ladder again. Get a good stretch in your obliques, the muscles on the side of your body, and swan dive down. Pick up that fresh air, push the rest of it up, And come into chair on your toes. And hold here and release. And now arms go out front. Pick up your right leg straight back for warrior 3 and come down as deep as you reasonably can, keeping your balance. And warrior 3 now on the other side. Hands can go in front or also behind. It's done both ways. And climb that invisible ladder again. Get a good stretch and swan dive down, blow out that air, bring in the fresh air and push the rest of it up. And bring your arm, wrap it around the other. Bring your fingers down, nose height, bend your knees, and pick up the right leg, place over the left. This is Garasana or eagle pose. This helps flush your lymph system, squeeze the muscles of your chest and your thighs together. If you can wrap your foot around your calf, that is the extension. And then we do the other side, left around right. Bring fingers down to nose height. Pick up the thigh over the knee and squeeze for eagle or Garasana. And hands on our hips, and let's turn our heads to the right and the left, increasing our range of motion in our neck, and we're opening our mouth as wide as we can. We keep a lot of facial tension in our facial muscles, and when we open our mouths, we release some of that tension, loosening our facial muscles by opening our mouths as wide as we can. And we come to center and back and forth, slowly keeping your balance, opening your mouth still, and then we rotate in an elliptical fashion, slow circle, both directions, still opening our mouth as wide as we can, relaxing our face muscles, releasing some tension, and we climb that invisible ladder again. Get a good stretch on both sides. Swan dive down, blow that bad air out and bring in some fresh air and push it up to the sky. Step back into warrior 2. You with your right leg, me with my left. And we drop our back hand to our hamstring and look up along our front extended arm for reverse warrior. And we come back to warrior 2. We bend our front forearm, dropping to our front knee. Look up along your rear extended arm for side angle. And we come back up to warrior 2 for a breath in through the nose, out through the nose. Our palms go together, forearms parallel to the mat, and we turn our bodies toward the front, dropping the elbow to the front knee for prayerful warrior. Another spine twist. And we come back up into warrior 2. And now in triangle, we drop our front hand to the inside of our front foot. Look up along our rear extended arm for Trikonasana or triangle. And we come back to warrior two. And we drop our front hand about 8 inches in front of our front foot. Pick up our back leg. And if we need to use our other hand for balance, we can do that. Bring the arm back up and come back up into warrior two. And then we swing our back hand to meet our front, put our fingers together, interlocked, and look up and begin our lunges on this side. You may go as deep as you are comfortable doing these lunges. These are very good for strengthening the muscles around the knee, muscles necessary to catch yourself should you trip. Very important for balance. And step up. Climb that invisible ladder again. Get a good stretch on both sides. And swan dive down. Blow it out. Pick up the fresh air. Breathe it in and push the rest of it back up. And come into warrior two on the other side. Front knee slightly bent. Back leg straight. And drop that back hand to your hamstring for reverse warrior. Looking up along your front extended arm and come back to warrior two, where we bend the front forearm, dropping that forearm to our front knee for side angle and look up along our rear extended arm. And we come back to warrior two. We bring our palms together, forearms parallel to the mat, and turn slowly toward the front, this time dropping this elbow to our front knee. Look across your body for prayerful warrior. And we come back to warrior two, where we drop our front hand to the inside of our front foot for triangle and look up along our rear extended arm. And come back to warrior two for a breath. And in half moon, we drop the front hand about 8 inches in front of that front foot, picking up the back leg. We're balancing on the front hand and front foot, and we come back up into warrior two and bring that back hand to meet the front. Interlace our fingers, look up, and begin our lunges on this side. Go as deep as you feel comfortable. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. And now we step to the side, duck toe our feet, bend our knees, arms go out to the side. Then we bend our elbows into cactus. And our palms and elbows come together. We raise our arms up to the sky and then release the hands. Bring them behind our back. Reattach our hands. Bring our upper body parallel to the ground and lift our hands away from our back for a good stretch in our pecs and deltoids. And release. Bring our arms back onto our hips, and we pick up our right foot, put it down and squat. Pick up our left leg, place it down and squat. And the right leg, place it up and squat and repeat. This exercise helps you strengthen your core, achieve better balance, very good for your glutes, and then we stand back into cactus, palms and elbows together, and we come down into Buddha squat and bend the knees even more. And we slowly move over to the left, touching our elbow to the knee, and then to the right, touching that elbow to that knee, and repeat back and forth. Another very good core exercise for pickleball players, golfers, and runners. And come back up, grabbing alternate elbows and bring our upper body straight down into ragdoll. We let our head hang, feel the weight of our head. Feel a nice stretch in your lower back and your shoulders. Don't bounce here, but just let everything hang. Stretching out your back. You can move to the left and to the right slowly, but don't bounce. Just let everything hang. And then release your arms. Come back up overhead, palms together. And we drop to our back knee. We release our hands and join them behind our back, bringing our shoulder to our knee in humble warrior. Lifting our hands away from our back, getting a good stretch in our deltoids. And we drop the hand closest to the front foot and raise the other arm straight up and look up. Then we bring both hands down to the mat to support ourselves as we come back onto our back foot for a nice runner stretch on that front extended leg. Be careful of that back knee. Only come down as far as you are comfortable. Then we swing that front leg back around and bring the other leg out flat on the mat. Our palms are together, looking up. We release our hands and join behind our back, bringing this shoulder down to the knee for humble warrior on this side. Lifting our arms away from our back. And we drop the hand closest to that front foot and look up along the other arm, which we raise to the side. Then we bring both hands down to the mat again for support as we come back onto our back foot and get a good runner stretch on this side. And then we bring both feet back, so we're standing on our knees, and our hands can either go the base of our spine or the tops of our heels. For camel pose, we look up. This posture helps release any unexpressed emotion in the heart chakra. You may feel weepy when you do this pose, perfectly normal. And we reach up overhead, get a big stretch, and come down into child's pose. Walk your hands forward on the mat And just come down as deep as you can, stretching the back. And we move our hands, put them together, move them to the left, and feel a nice stretch on the right side. And we move the hands over to the left and get a nice stretch on the left side. And we come back to center and get a nice stretch in the center. And then we come up to tabletop. And tabletop, we begin our push-ups on our knees, just up and down, touching your forehead to the mat. This exercise strengthens the triceps, removing the flab in the back of our arms. And now back to tabletop. And we arch our back for cat-cow. And we look up, drop our navel, and then we look between our knees and repeat. This exercise keeps your vertebrae limber, sending synovial fluid to your spine, keeping your spine loose and pain-free. This is called cat-cow. And then we come back to tabletop. We raise our right arm to the side and bring it underneath for threading the needle coming down to our shoulder and the side of our head. This is an excellent spine twist. And we come back up, back to tabletop, and do the other side, bringing that arm up and underneath, down to the side of our head for threading the needle on this side. And we come on back up to tabletop. And we raise our right arm straight out and our left leg straight back. Hold for a couple seconds, then touch down to the mat and bring back up. Touch down and bring back up. This is a Pilates posture called bird dog. Very, very good for your glutes. Try to keep the back leg that you're raising straight. Raise with your glutes, not with your thighs. And then we go to the other side. Left arm straight out, right leg straight back. Hold for a couple seconds, then tap to the mat and lift back up. This is bird dog. We come back to tabletop. Now keeping the knee bent, we lift the thigh out to the side and back down. This is called hydrant. Very good for the glutes, the small muscles, the inner core, the muscles of your bladder, pelvis. Just lift to the side. And then keeping that same knee bent, we lift the leg back and pulse up for donkey. And every second time we bring that knee into the elbow and bring the leg back into donkey, and then knee to elbow and back to donkey. And then we straighten the leg and touch down to the back corners of our mat for rainbow. We lift the leg in the center like a rainbow as we touch down to the back corners of our mat, keeping our leg straight, not bending our knee if possible. And back to tabletop, and we begin the same thing on the other side. Hydrant on the other side. The thigh goes out. And just continue. And keeping that knee bent, we bring the leg back and pulse up, and then bring the knee to the elbow, and pulse up, and then bring that knee into the elbow for a mini mountain climber while you're doing donkey, both Pilates postures, good for the core. And then we bring that leg straight back and touch down to the back corners of our mat, raising our leg in the center like a rainbow, keeping the leg straight, trying not to bend our knee here, letting our glute do the work, and back to tabletop. And then from here we push into down dog, and we walk our feet, walking the dog. And we lift our right leg back and bring that knee in between our hands for pigeon, and we come down as far as we can, either onto our hands or onto our forearms for pigeon. And if you care to reach back and grab that back foot for king pigeon, you may do that. Very good hip opener. Good for the knee. And we push back into down dog, walking the dog some more. And then the other leg goes straight back. And we bring that knee in between the hands, stretch the leg back, come down to our forearms for pigeon. And if we care to reach back for king pigeon, to pull that back leg, get a good stretch in the thigh muscle, that back leg, and release, bringing our knees together. Now we stretch out on our mat, coming down to our forearms. Legs are straight on the mat. And we look up as far as we can, exercising our eye muscles. We are in Sphinx or Cobra, and we push up if we are able into Seal. And we come back onto our forearms. And we're going to put our hands together, using our forearms to support ourselves. And we're going to push up onto our toes, onto a front plank for about 10 seconds. So let's push up. If you're unable to do this yet, you may stay on your knees until you're able to push up into a front plank. And then back down to our mat. And we bring our arms out to the side like an airplane, or out front like Superman. And we're going to lift our shoulders and our legs off the mat. I'm going to count to 3 twice, and we're going to lift up off the mat. Lift, 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 and down. Take a breath. And again, we lift for 3 seconds and down. Very good. And now we reach back, grabbing the outside of our feet for bow pose. Again, I will count to 3 twice, and we will lift our upper body and our thighs off of the mat. 1, 2, 3, lift, 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 and down. Take a breath. And 1, 2, 3, kick into your hands and down and release. And now, let's lay on our side with our hips one over the other and do our side leg lifts. You can start with either side. We will do both sides. And then we raise that lower leg off of the mat, attach our feet, open our knees, and then close our knees and open back up. This is clamshell, very, very good for your core. This is Pilates. You may stay on your side or come down slightly on your back. And then we extend the legs on our mat while we're still on our side and push up into a side plank, raising our hand to the sky. Again, if you're not able to do this yet, you may stay on your knees or push up to the side. And then we go to the other side, doing our leg lifts on this side. We put our feet together, opening our knees, keeping our feet attached. We bring the knees together for clamshell. And then from here, we go onto our side again into a side plank. Very, very good for the obliques, the muscles along your rib cage. And we come now to a seated position. Arms up overhead and reach forward and touch your toes, or as close as you can get to your toes. Hands down by our side, lift one overhead, get a nice stretch in the rib cage on this side, same on the other side. And now we pick up the foot, put it on the outside of the knee, bring the left arm in this case on the outside, push away as you support yourself with your other arm for spinal twist. And we come back and do the same with the other side. Bring that foot on the outside of the knee, arm to push away, and the other arm for support as we come into a spinal twist on this side. And we come back to seated on our mats. This time we're going to balance on our pelvis for boat pose. We lift up our feet. Our arms are used for leverage out front, and we may also do crunches or do the Ukrainian twist here if we would like. Very good for the core. Engage your core when we do this. And you can just do crunches if you would like. And we come back to seated on our mat. And we put our feet flat on the mat. We bring our pelvis, our hips close to our feet, about a hand length away. We keep our head about 6 inches off of the mat, and we slowly reach our fingers to our heels, sliding on the mat. This exercises at least 3 deep core muscles inside the girdle of muscles we have as a core. And now we bring our head back to the mat. We're going to lift up into bridge, onto our shoulders, and pulse up and down a little bit, giving our pelvis muscles some exercise in bridge. And now while we're in the up position in bridge, we raise the right foot straighten the knee, and bend the foot toward our face and away from our face. This exercise helps relieve any sciatica pain, piriformis muscle issues, and even vein issues that are caused by gravity. This is an excellent exercise for stretching the leg, and support yourself with that same leg as you come down. Stay up in bridge position and exercise the other leg, bringing that foot toward your face and away from your face. And bring your feet back to the mat. Arms out to the side, knees together, legs still bent. We drop our knees in unison from one side to the other for windshield wiper. Actually, a very good spine twist. It's important to keep your shoulders on the mat. And then the legs go out straight on the mat. Pick up your right leg, grab underneath the knee, and pull around your rib cage, getting a good stretch here. This helps as a hip opener and aids in digestion. And release and bring up the other knee, fingers around the kneecap, and pull back around your rib cage. And you feel a nice hamstring pull. Now we bring up both legs and grab underneath the knees, both legs, and pull back. You can do happy baby here if you want. You can rock back and forth and release. Now both hands go straight up and the thighs come up. The calves are parallel to the ground. This is dead bug pose. Very good core exercise. We drop the right hand straight back and the left leg straight out and come back to the center position, and then the other side. Dropping the left arm and right leg straight, and then the left arm and right leg, right arm and left leg. Very good core exercise called dead bug posture. And then legs straight on the mat, arms down by our side. And we pick up our feet, maybe 6 inches off the mat, and begin our scissors exercise. One foot above the other. And then we go into bicycle, bringing your knees back as far as you can, trying to keep your heels no more than 8 inches off the mat. so that your core does the work. And then down onto your mat. Arms by your side. For Savasana. Just let everything go. Feel the muscles in your forehead relax. And it's always my pleasure to lead you through this yoga. We put our hands together and touch our third eye. May our thoughts always be hopeful and optimistic, and to our lips, may our words be necessary and kind, and to our heart center, may our hearts always be filled with love. Peace, shalom, shante, shante, namaste.